Greetings, valiant warriors. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to another episode of our 1% Club, and welcome to the Vigor Warriors Channel 2. And I hope that you guys are on your purpose, doing what you need to do. Life is wonderful. Life is great, even though everything is around us may not be going the way it should. You're not happy with a lot of things going on. You are happy inside, and it's because you're on a certain goal and mission and purpose. And even if you fall back on it once in a while, you know that you're doing the things that you should be doing, and they're right. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit today. I wanted to do this one as quickly as I could because I had a couple of great comments from Daniel, and I want to talk about what Daniel is saying here. And so first, subscribe, like, comment. I appreciate all the comments, and I try to respond quickly. I think based on what Daniel commented to me and a couple other people, I may eventually do a live stream so I can kind of talk to some of you guys in person and have a kind of a live type of session. I'm gonna see how I can do that. I have to kind of figure that out. But in the meantime, what we're gonna do is kind of respond to Daniel's points here, and let's kind of talk about this a little bit. All right, so Daniel had a couple good points here, and Daniel, I totally empathize. I totally am with you because I had many years of feeling the same way you do. But do not give up. Do not give up, and you're going to get there a lot faster than I will. So a couple points he's making. One is that he does see the fact that one of the reasons why he's doing all this pleasure stuff is to get away from a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, either at work or home, personal types of things. And guys, the first thing that I want to compliment Daniel and shout out to him is Daniel, you recognize this. It took me a long time to recognize what the problem was because I thought what I was doing was right, according to the doctors, according to other people, that this is what you should be doing, right? You want to relieve stress, so let's go ahead and relieve stress, right? But I found out that I was weaker. I had more stress, more anxiety, more depression because of this. And so what I was doing was really wrong and not right. And it just kind of just defeated the whole purpose of what I was supposed to be trying to do, and that was better myself. So the thing is Daniel, I'm with you 100%. I understand. And so that's one of the reasons I did the video on this, is that I wanted to kind of explain why you do things. And you have to first recognize that you do these things first. If you recognize that, that's the first step in any sort of solving a problem. I don't care if you're addicted to alcohol, drugs, overeating. Recognizing that there's a problem that you want to get away from, okay? Now, let's focus on some things to help you here, Daniel, because I really want to help you, because his second comment is that he feels a little bit, it's hard to stop. And I'm with you, given the fact that it took me, 40 years or so, and I couldn't do it. I'm probably the best person and the worst person to tell you at the same time, right? Because I did do it, but it took many years. So hopefully it won't take you as long to do this, my friend. And fellow warrior, you're at least you're recognizing it. So give yourself a lot of credit. Don't be down on yourself with it. I sense that a little bit in your email, or your text, or your response. But don't go down. Stay up. Keep positive, because you're gonna try again. And I know you're gonna try again. So the next thing to do is don't give up. So identify the problem. That's the first one. The second one is don't give up. Now, let's examine a little bit what happens when you're tempted. Because in your mind, like I was, you're thinking, okay, I'm doing the right thing, right? I know I'm doing the right thing, okay? I know I'm working in the right direction here. The problem is that you have so much temptation, and if you're like I am, as the years went on, you have a lot of baggage, emotional baggage, and memories and things that you see. and they're going to pop up at you anytime. We did this exercise the other day, and I think that Pump 20 was exactly right. Sometimes what ends up happening is you're thinking of these things, and physiologically your body's reacting. So if you're getting in better shape, you're feeling more energy, and that's going to lead you then more to more thoughts and ideas, which with a high level of sexual energy you're going to have. The trouble is, you don't want to get to the point where you're releasing or you're looking at pictures that are not just real people. Now, they're real people, yes, but they're not, they look much better with everything they're looking at, with the Photoshop and the makeup and all that kind of stuff. So you have to get to the point where you're not going ahead and just doing that for the sake of doing it. But it's not easy, guys, right? It's not easy at all. And the thing is that you have to realize that once you're tempted, you got to figure out a strategy, at least at the beginning, to stop this. So, Daniel, this is what I would do. Now, A, you know the problem, right? B, you know why you're doing it. Now, the question is, what happens when you see this, right? You're talking to a beautiful girl who in live, or you're looking at pictures or things like that. Well, remember, and I think I did this on the idea of focus. We talked about the idea that you have to try to figure out a way to get your mind to another place. It has to go to another place. You cannot be concentrating on this. Almost like this thing I was saying before, is that you can let the birds kind of fly over your head, but do not let them rest in your head. That's the key, my friend. Do not let them rest in your head. And that, to me, is the whole key to the situation. So as you look at this, what you really want to do is make sure that you're shifting your mind to something else. So the thing that you got to do is use that idea of focus. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so let's say, for example, Daniel, this is the thing I would do right away. You got to train your mind to get away from thinking about these pictures. So anytime something pops up, I would create an image. Visualize an image. Now, the easiest thing to do is go ahead and put like a black dot on the wall or somewhere. Have a card with a black dot. And anytime you're seeing this type of thing, images or around people, just think about the black dot. Think about something that's going to get you away from thinking about the women or the images or the person you're with, and think in terms of that black dot. Now, some people think in terms of something else to get them away from it. Maybe a peaceful scene. I know people, when I was when I teach speech, I think of people, speaking to people in their underwear, so they make them laugh, so they're not concentrating on the fear, or in this case, the sexual energy release that you want to have. It's powerful, my friend. The willingness to release is powerful. Because we do that, our body is ready to procreate. When we get to this notion, the body tells the body we're ready to procreate. So it's going to get ready. Because it's going to get ready for you to have children. But you're not having children. You're basically just releasing for the sake of releasing. And that screws up your whole system, right? And so when you go back to this type of thing, you've got to refocus your mind on something else, okay? And the key is to try to think of something that gets your mind away from this. Now, it's not going to be easy. Now, I didn't really use this strategy until near the end, so I do it now. And so now it's easier for me, but I'm also at 515 days and 45 days of monk mode, okay? I'm now over that danger situation. I mean, I think danger situations are like 20 days, 30 days, 90 days. You're going to have some danger times that you're going to go back to, because your body is going to want you to go back to what you were doing. And that's partly the evil spirits, I believe, and I also think it's part of just your body reaction. It's a combination of things that lead you to say, okay, I'm going to go back and do this, because that's what I've been comfortable with. It's a habit you form. But you can break a habit. 21 days, you break a habit. So you got to keep on this. I would recommend monk mode for 21 days. But look at something that can get your mind, Daniel, off of this issue. I know how difficult it is, but I'm also really very strongly passionate about the fact that you can do this. But what you got to do is you got to be able to reshift your mind. You got to be able to say, okay, I'm going to focus on this black dot or whatever it might be, all right? A football or a baseball, whatever it might be. Focus on something to get your mind away from that image. As soon as you're talking to a person, there's no reason why you can't talk to a person. Just say, okay, this is a person, all right? I said this before when I was talking about brahmacharya, but a lot of times when I've talked to people with brahmacharya, they have a picture in their mind of women like a bag of bones, not thinking about how good they look or they look in makeup and all these other kind of stuff and how attractive they look. They're looking at them as a bag of bones, and no one wants to do anything with a bag of bones, right? So your body, physiologically, emotionally, you're going to stop with all the arousal and all that other kind of stuff, right? Because you are now looking at this thing as a bag of bones. And really, in essence, that's what people are. We just put a lot of imagination into this. And so we are our worst enemy when it comes to this. So Daniel, this is what I would recommend, very simply. Try to paint a picture, something. I would start with just a freaking black dot and just say, okay, every time I think of this or I'm in danger of this, I'm going back to the black dot. Your mind cannot focus on two things at the same time, so it's going to focus on the dot instead of the girl or the image. And this gives you an idea that you can control this better than you think you can. There's sometimes it's going to hit you like a rock and you got to react, but more times than not, you're going to be able to control this. And if you build that habit over time and you're at 90 days and 120 days and all of a sudden now you can control it, now you have the choice to say, okay, if I want to procreate, I can, but I now can control this demon that's inside of me, okay? And that's the key. Daniel, anytime you have questions, my friend, any help you need, let me know. I'm with you. I understand. I totally understand. And I've been there for many years. So I understand totally. So if you want to reach out, go ahead. I'm happy to, even in your private emails, I'm happy to help you any way you can. Okay. I want to make sure that you're supported here. We're all supporting each other. And I think it's important to keep supporting each other because this is something I had a lot of support myself from people. You got to continue to fight these battles. And the battle is won inside of yourself, guys. The battle is not won on the outside. We're not dealing with people. We're dealing with principalities, which is mind, and your spirits, which is all mind. That's all we're doing, guys. And so that's what we got to fight. But that starts inside of here. And that starts inside of here with the Lord and listening to the voice and doing those type of things we're talking about. So Daniel, thank you so much for reaching out. A shout out to you, my friend. Continue that battle. Don't give up. And find a way to visualize some picture, a dot or something, to get you away from the other stuff you're thinking about and keep focusing on the dot. The dot. All right, I hope this helps, buddy. All right, until next time, guys, battle on.